Alright, now what we want to do is actually get into the work that we're doing. So what we're going to do is, now that you're on the Melissa data page, and you're on the city that you're going to look at, basically we're going to start out with Runge, Texas. Now there's two ways to do this. You can either get the entire city and just use all the information, especially if you're using it like a phone book when you would only use the ones that you have for non-at-homes, or you can actually go through each city when we make our list and pick the exact streets that you want in your territory. Either way. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go through and I'm going to get all the streets in all the cities, and then that way we can just use this like a phone book. So what we're going to do is we've got our page. Now we're going to do our first scraper. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go down to scrapers. And this actually tells the program what information you want. If you look up here at the top, this is all the HTML. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down till we get to the part with the streets. So here's the first street, Andrew, in Runge. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make this thing pick just the information that we want. So what we're going to do, let me get out of this. I've already got a scraper that's already made, and so you can just hit new, and when it brings it up you can do street names and whatever your city is that you're looking up. And so this is what it's going to look like when it comes up. So you'll do your first line. It'll automatically check it. If it's not checked, it's not going to run. So I put street name for mine, and then what we want to do is we want to find the code before and after, so it tells this thing what we're looking for. So the marker before, I've got name and equals, so I'm grabbing this name out of this hyperlink right here in the pink, but you can also grab the deal in black here too. So I just grab name and equals, right click, copy, and then come down here and double click, and you can either do paste or you can do Control V or Command V, whatever you have, Windows or Mac or whatever, and then just hit return. Now you're going to get the back end of it. So we'll do the quotations, the alligator mouth, and the blank space. So we're going to do copy and double click and paste. And so that tells it that we want this name right here, Andrew. But that's not the only one we want. We want all of the streets. So it's going to run through and it's going to get any of them with this in the front and the back, and they're all the same, so it's going to get all of them. So if we do that, let's take this part out. Let's just see what we get. See, so it gets all the information. Actually, we'll just do empty and we'll rerun that to show you what it really looks like. So this is what it comes up with. It comes up with all the roads, the little plus symbols, and all that good stuff too. So we want to kind of whittle this stuff down, and we want to change the information because we don't want just this. We actually want this information with each of these streets to look like this up here, because we're going to go to 411.com to get these names. So we want 411.com search reverse address, the street, and then the city. So this is the information that we want those streets to become. So this is how we're going to do it. First, to go back to the scrapers, and so this is going to get all of our streets, which is fine. And then we want to take that information and we want to replace it. So we're going to replace it with, if you go to 411.com, let's just go back there and we'll try this again. 411.com, reverse address. Then let's do, just pick a road in your city. I'm going to do County Road 103 and Runge. And you can see the flash blocker working here. So that definitely speeds your machine up. So we see the people that live on County Road 103. And I tried it with the other road and it didn't work that great, so we tried 103. So anyways, here's your address up here at the top. You can just highlight that. You want to copy that. Now we're going to go back into Outwit Hub, and this is what we're going to replace it with. We're just going to paste that in there, either right click or Control V or Command V or whatever. So, but now you see County Road 103. If we do this, it's going to replace just a whole list of County Road 103s, and we don't want that. We want it to replace this web address with each of our cities. So what we're going to do is we're going to select County Road 103. We're going to delete that, still leave our equal and our and symbol. Now we're going to do backslash and 0. And what that tells, the backslash 0 tells the program to replace each of the streets that we looked up with this web address. So we're going to hit return, and then we can hit save, and that saves our scraper. And let's just try that. So we're going to hit execute. See, so now what it does is it changes all the information that we got, County Road 103, Texas, but it also has Andrew, Runge, Texas. That's exactly what we want right there, is how that looks. But we've got a few additions in here, and if you look on here, we've got 70 streets, but there's a few extras. So what we want to do is, in our scraper, you notice it moved up to the data and scraped, we want to clean text, and I don't think we need to deduplicate. If you do that, it takes out doubles. So we've only got 70 here, so that's all right. So what we want to do with this is now we want to take this information and bring it into our queries window. So what we're going to do is we're also going to make it empty. You want the empty checked, and you want catch selection checked. So when we come back up here and reload the current page, like if we just did the search brand new, it loads, but look, it also loads down here at the bottom. This is called our catch. So this is where we want the information. Now, to kind of clean up this information, we don't need all this extra stuff. Come over here to this little box, click on it. You want to leave the ID because that's the number. Get rid of R, get rid of P, get rid of collection time, get rid of source URL. So that just leaves the street names. So this one up here we don't really need, so we can click on that and hit delete. But then if you look on here, we've got all of our roads, and that's all the ones we needed. So we'll just leave all that right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over and we're going to make a query real quick. So if you go to query, that's basically question. So it's telling the computer what to look up. So what we want to do is we want to make a new query, and we're going to type Runge, or whatever your city is. Now that creates a query that we can bring into a macro and actually run. So we've got all these names down here. What we want to do is we want to select the first one, go down to the very bottom, shift and select, so you've got all of them selected, and then just drag and drop in this window. And so that sets up everything that this thing is going to look up. So that's our query. Now you do that with each of the cities that you've got, and you'll have, sometimes 5, 10, sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands. If it's thousands, I would recommend breaking it up into groups of maybe 100 to 200. And what you can do is you can just come over here and you can select, say like 50 at a time, and so you've got 50 selected, and make Runge 1, Runge 2, Runge 3, and just drop them in so that you stage it out so that they're not quite so big. So you get the idea on how to make the queries. On our next video, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up a macro and actually run this job, where you can also run a job itself and do these so that they're automatic.